Honkai Star Rail was released in 2023, and I played until Amphorius' release in 2025. Before I dropped HSR, I'd been saving most of my farming materials until the day came where I would make a video about it. Unfortunately, I ended up dropping it before making a video, and recently I was reminded that those materials still exist. Over 2 years worth of farming materials just sitting there, waiting to be used. I don't have any intention of returning to HSR, but I did thoroughly enjoy my 2 years of playing it. So as a final send-off, I'm returning to finish what I once started. So what is a perfect relic? Well, it obviously depends on the character, but for today, that character will be the Paragon of Knights, the spear-wielding, aura farming, Argenti. For Argenti, the perfect relic varies. Back when I played, I did a bit of theory crafting. Wait, I think I forgot to mention aura farming. Back when I played, I did a bit of theory crafting for his build, but at the end of the day, the character was so useless for everything other than pure fiction, it didn't even matter. But now, since I'm doing this as a send-off, I don't mind being suboptimal. Regardless, it's been too long since I last played, so I'm not going to worry about doing my own calculations. Instead, I'll just be following Perdwin's guide. As I said before, Argenti's builds have a lot of variety. Since he's mainly played as a sub DPS to the Herder nowadays, Eagle of Twilight Line is his most popular set. However, in respect to how I used to play Argenti as a hyper carry, I'll be doing the Scholar Lost in Erudition set. Perdwin suggests a 2-to-1 ratio for crit damage to crit rate, sitting at around 75 to 80% crit rate. This is after factoring Argenti's talent, which grants a 25% crit rate increase at max stacks, meaning I want 50 to 55% crit rate before entering combat. I won't worry too much about the other stats, since I don't want to suffer the pain that is speed tuning for a game I don't intend to play. That being said, the piece I'm looking for is a piece that has crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and speed as the 4 base substats. Any substat hits in any of these stats counts, since I'm not speed tuning, and if any of these substats are the main stat, making them impossible to hit as a substat, flat attack or break effect are fine. However, only one of these bad substats can exist, and hitting a substat bonus on either of them immediately makes the piece bad. So let's get into the numbers. Of my 1,480 relics, 306 of them are on my characters, meaning the remaining 1,174 relics are getting turned into relic remains. And don't worry, I checked first, there's nothing useful for Argenti here. With the 11,210 relic remains I already have, adding the 25,675 extra relic remains I just got from salvaging gets me to a total of 36,885 relic remains. But I'm not going to be using these relic remains just yet. Instead, I'll first be burning through all of my Trailblaze power on Cavern of Corrosion. With my 300 at base, plus 2,400 reserved Trailblaze power, plus 110 fuel converted to 6,600 Trailblaze power, and finally, plus 4,900 Stellar Jade worth of Trailblaze power conversion for another 480 Trailblaze power, I end with a grand total of 9,780 Trailblaze power, which is around 41 days worth of power. I know I could convert all of my Stellar Jade into power, but I can't wait 2 weeks to post this video. My subscribers will all forget about me. It takes 40 power to clear Cavern of Corrosion once, meaning I need to clear Cavern of Corrosion 244 times. Since I'm guaranteed 2 5-star relics every clear, I can expect a minimum of 488 relics. Add the 4 chances for double rewards I get for being a returning player, and the minimum becomes 496 relics. Without knowing the exact rates for a third 5-star relic, it's hard to know exactly how many I'll get. Luckily, since I can just edit this in post, I can determine that the exact amount is 520 relics. I'm sure you're wondering if I'm ever going to use these 15 Immersifiers worth 600 Trailblaze power, but I'm not about to play Divergent Universe for a save file, and as far as I'm aware, there isn't a way to convert these into normal Trailblaze power. For the relics we got earlier, I'll be taking the best of the batch and giving Argenti a temporary set, and everything else goes straight into the relic remains bin. From this second set of salvaging, I end with 5,150 relic remains, making for a grand total of 42,035 relic remains, which I'll then take and convert into 420 relics, which I'll continue to convert into relic remains until I only have 2,900 relic remains left. If I find any perfect pieces, but the stats roll into the bad subset I mentioned, I'll use 27 self-modeling resin to make 9 variable dice, and I'll use up to 10 variable dice to reroll the stats. If they all fail, I will try as hard as I can to get the one interference key I can from Anomaly Arbitration, and force the piece to be perfect. If I don't find any perfect pieces, I'll use the 2,900 relic remains to make 29 tailored relics. Through this, I'll have received a grand total of 986 relics, and I hope that's enough. But just one more thing before I start farming. Let's take a look at how well an unoptimized team from over a year ago can function in the current state of endgame. Nope. 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 We're not getting another ult off, let's just go. Oh, now it's actually over. Goodbye. 43,000, not even close to 50k, but we completed it. 15,000? Unsurprisingly, it's pretty bad. Now, finally, gambling. So, if you paid really close attention, you can tell that this line, and finally, plus 900, was added in afterwards. I originally expected this to cost 400 Stellar Jade, since it says that the conversion is 58 times. Little did I know, the cost goes up whenever you do the conversion. Oh, it costs more every exchange. This grinding section took 4.5 hours, and the file size is nearly 60 gigabytes, which is because it's an MKV file, but that's besides the point. It took so long to do that I naturally generated enough Trailblaze power to do another run, and what's more crazy is of my 245 runs, only 24 gave me one extra relic. I wonder if this is enough of a sample size to say the drop rate is like 10%. I forgot to check my relics after every run, so I ended up checking 2 times. The first was pretty disappointing. Wow, garbage, 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 garbage. Oh, okay, they're all garbage. Cool. Garbage, 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 garbage. Ooh, it's not garbage, but it's not perfect. It's close though. Oh, and that's everything. Really, that's everything. Oh, they're all garbage as well, so back to the farm. Why is she still down? But on my final check, I found this. Last set of relics from farming. Somehow still have more of those. I guess I have more equip. Oh, wait, I think this gets a pass, right? Like, I did say I would rather have speed, but since I'm not speed tuning anyways, like, I think this is allowed to count. As long as it doesn't hit into flat attack, this is a good piece. I mean, this is a perfect piece. It can be a perfect piece. And the fact that it's here now means that I already have a chance at re-rolling into it. It's real, we can find it. I only had to farm for 4.5 hours to get a piece like this. Please give it to me. Oh, ooh, this is like, wait, aren't there variable rolls in this game? Oh, shit. I completely forgot to consider variables. Live me is correct. Substats, including the base substat, fall into 3 categories: low, medium, and high. So technically, the true perfect piece is even more elusive than I originally thought. That being said, this is a low roll and a high roll for flat attack, a high roll and a medium roll for attack percentage, a medium roll for crit rate, and 2 medium rolls and 2 high rolls for crit damage. But now we found some playable ones, and obviously I don't really care too much about this one. This is just another... Oh! Okay, well maybe I should have cared about this one, because this is a very pretty looking piece, but it isn't perfect. Thirda, you need to be sacrificed for my Argenti. I know you replaced Argenti in like everything that he's good for. Like, you were literally just a better version of this character, but you don't have a spear, so why do I have so much crit rate? Now that I finished farming, it's time to start synthesizing. But shortly in, I realized something. Oh, you know what I just realized? Enhancement. The return rate is actually higher. Live me is correct. A maxed out plus 15 relic converts to 400 relic remains instead of 100. While this probably isn't worth it, it's super useful in this scenario. So I used almost all of my materials to get more relic remains to end up with a total of 35,025 relic remains. This brings the grand total of relic remains to 80,940 and total relics to 1,328. A few logistics. My materials are not even close to the true total you could have gotten during my 2-year play period. I recall using some resources when I first started, and I've never spent money on Nameless Glory, further reducing my potential total. But ultimately, this is still a lot of resources to dump into something like this, and even though I don't intend on returning to HSR, using Stellar Jade for Trailblaze power hurt me deeply. Unfortunately, despite this increase in quantity, I didn't find a single higher quality piece. In my desperation, I decided to give Anomaly Arbitration a shot, and I'll let the results speak for themselves. Oh, he's actually just dead, by the way. Goodbye, Argenti. Can I? I mean, I could. Okay, well now Third is dead. Goodbye, Sunday. He's dead. And we just lose. Yeah, we literally just lose. So let's try beating one of the knights. Yeah, 9,000 damage. I mean, 4,000. Oh, yeah, like, yeah. I guess it doesn't matter because the big wave hits everything anyways. I think I've done enough testing to tell me that we're not even close. As you can see, I failed miserably, so instead I just decided to gamble. It's worse? Okay. Let's do it again. And, oh my god, we're saved. This is a perfect piece, and I got crazy deja vu just now because it's the exact same thing. I think this is the exact same rolls that I got on my Ambi's quote-unquote perfect piece, right? That's actually kind of absurd. The substat rolls this time are as follows. A high roll for flat attack, and since we can't tell what the base roll is for the other stats, I have to do a bit of calculation. 4 medium rolls for attack percentage, 2 medium rolls for crit rate, and 2 medium rolls for crit damage. So while the stat distribution is better, the first iteration has better total rolls, with 6 medium rolls and 3 high rolls, compared to the new piece's 8 medium rolls and 1 high roll. I honestly should have kept rerolling the stats, but I completely forgot about variable rolls again, so I didn't. I didn't find anything else worth anything, but my Argenti's pieces and stat spread became significantly better. Now it might seem like my stats actually got worse, but in reality most of the crit rate from before was a dead stat, and the speed, while reaching a proper breakpoint, was not necessary. Either way, it's better enough for a 3k increase on pure fiction, or at least I think. There's obviously a little variation run by run, but I like to think the improved build is to think. I decided there was still one more thing to do as a proper send-off. What the winning pass looks like. I can't remember. Well, it's not this one. Oh, it is this one. What the f? I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell, but we won at 50 pity. We won at 50 pity. Wait, I can still lose the 50-50, right? I didn't though. I didn't lose the 50-50. I'll take it. So that's it. Unfortunately, I only found this one quote-unquote perfect piece, and only thanks to the ability to reroll substat enhancements. While I don't care to compare them, it is still a bit interesting. In my ZZZ video with the same concept, I got significantly more potential candidates to be perfect, but there's nothing you can do about bad enhancements in that game. In comparison, when you find a perfect piece in HSR, it can be forced to be perfect thanks to variable dice and interference keys. However, the inclusion of variable rolls on enhancements further complicates this. Ultimately, finding a truly perfect piece might be genuinely impossible, but it was fun to at least try. Leave a like if you enjoyed.